About race and violence that some people experience because of the color of their skin can be really difficult to have.
But now there's a local company trying to tackle those discussions, whether it's with your kids or your coworkers. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Taylor Epps has that story.
We want equality! We want justice!
June 2020. Protesters filled streets across America, rallying for racial justice. March 2021. Here we are again.
Everybody has been schooled to think certain things about certain groups of people. And based on these stereotypes, people have been killed, people have been hurt, people have lost jobs. It's time we start having these conversations.
But how do you talk about issues of race? Where do you start? This pair of sisters from Buffalo hopes to answer those questions and get this conversation started with a game they created.
It forces you to kind of look at your biases, your stereotypes. It forces you to, do a lot of self-reflection to determine whether or not, am I on the right side of history or the wrong side of history, and what can I do to fix it?
Sisters Keziah Pearson and Sarah Pearson Collins, along with family members Cephas Pearson, came up with a game called Pulling the Race Card. They've been working on it since the death of George Floyd last May.
It's a deck that gets the conversation started, basically.
So each player gets 2 cards, one that says fact and one that says fiction.
And then a card is pulled from the top of the deck. Somebody reads the statement, and you say whether you feel it's fact or fiction.
And that's where the conversation starts, about topics like Blue Lives Matter, LGBTQ rights, white privilege, and more. And at the bottom of each statement card, you'll see a QR code. When you scan it, it'll take you to an article or video with more information about the topic.
The police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
I think that once we have these conversations, we will find out that we're very much the same, that, we want the same things.
This is the point where you discuss.
We don't have to agree. We definitely don't, and we're probably not going to agree on a lot of the topics. But the point is, in having the conversations, we need to start understanding each other.
The Pearson sisters hope the race card game can start conversations with people of all ages and backgrounds in any setting.
We're looking to even, market this with corporations, like, for team building exercises. It can be sit around a dinner table and having that discussion.
Their ultimate goal, to have a global impact.
We need to start having those conversations so that we can start changing the nation, or the world, actually. Yeah.
Now, we know these are really important conversations to be having. Taylor joining us live from home now. But Taylor, when we hear a game, that this is a game, we think, is there a winner? But it's a little different this time.
So Katie, the interesting part about this game is that there is no winner because there's really no right or wrong answer to each of the cards. Take this card, for example. It says racism has gotten worse in America. Now, whether you agree with that or not, it's an opportunity to, share what you think and learn more about what others think rather than win a game here.
It's important to note here that there is a discussion to be had, and we had a really good discussion about race and the hidden bias of good people on our WKBW app 7+ recently. And one of the conversational points that came out of all of this was that we have to have the discussion and not the debate. So we have to be able to hear each other, and we have to be able to show our opinions without trying to convince others that we're right or they're wrong.
And that's the hardest part when you're trying to understand other viewpoints, right? Instead of just pushing yours on somebody else, you have to be able to take in everybody else's.
Right, and really fully understand. Taylor, thank you. Great story.